What is up, everybody? In this video, we're going to be going over a well-rounded guide as to how Amazon FBA works for beginners in 2020. So if you guys are a beginner and you are looking to start an Amazon FBA business in the new year of 2020, then this is going to be the video for you guys. We're going to be going over everything you need to know, every topic, and by the end of the video, you guys will be pretty much experts and well-rounded on how the whole business works. And that way, you guys are ready to go for when you get started. So now let's get into the video. So first, I'm going to be going over some basic steps as to how the process kind of moves along, and then after that I'm going to be going more into detail about a lot of different topics that you're going to need to be pretty well versed on to get started with Amazon FBA. And also I'll be explaining the basics of each one, so that way you have a good idea of how it works as well. So the first step is going to be funding, business plan, and mindset. So these are three things that you're going to need to get ready for any type of business, especially this business, because this is what I teach. So the first thing we're going to talk about is going to be funding. So you got to figure out how much money you're willing to spend, where you're going to get that money from, if you have it in savings or you're going to borrow it. Figure that out. I recommend at least $1,500 to start, all the way up to about $3,000 to $5,000 is a great range to have a budget in. So $1,500 is just enough to start, and anything more is even better. So that's all you need for funding. The next thing is going to be your business plan. So a lot of people don't really understand that there's many different ways that you can sell on Amazon. And specifically, I teach Amazon FBA selling, and that's what I highly recommend to you guys, because FBA selling means Amazon does all the work for you, and all you really need is some money to start, a computer, and your brain, and that's all you need to start. You can also sell as an FBM seller, where you do all the work yourself, like shipping and customer service. And you can also figure out what type of products you want to sell. So some people sell brand name products. I sell private label products, meaning we get our product from a company in China and I put my label on it and sell it for more money on Amazon. So that's also what I highly recommend that you guys do, because that is what I have found the most success in. So just to clarify, I recommend being an FBA seller and selling a private labeled product. One thing before I continue the video, I have a pretty important announcement to make. We just hit 10,000 subscribers. Let me pull up my YouTube channel here so you can see it right here. We hit 10,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much, and I am going to do something special that I've never done before in order to give back to you guys, and that is going to be a discount code to my course and mentorship. I'm not sure how long I'm going to have this up. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a limited amount. Depends how many people sign up, because I only like to teach a few at a time. So I may just close it off if too many people get in too fast, or I may close it off after a certain amount of time. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to give $100 off for my course and mentorship, and that will be the first link down below in the description. You guys can click on that, go to the one-time payment option, and then enter the coupon code 10K, and I'll put that up somewhere on the screen here. So once again, go to the one-time payment option and then enter the coupon code 10K, and you will get $100 off for the course and mentorship. And if you get in, then I'll be emailing you shortly, and we will start working together, going over your products, going over your business, and getting you started and ready for the new year. So that's it. Let's get back into the video. Also, one more thing, if you guys have any questions for me, here's my email right up above my head right here. It says askrileyturner@gmail.com. Now that is it. Let's get back into the video. And after that, we have mindset. So you want to go into this with the right mindset, making sure that you're willing to put in the work, because if you start this business and you put everything you have into it, you put your heart and soul into it, then hopefully it will pay you for the rest of your life. So that's why it's so important to have your funding ready, your business plan ready, and you have your mind ready to get started. Now, step 2 is going to be product research. This is my personal favorite step, because this is where we get to dig in deep and find a product that's going to work for us, that's going to make a lot of money. So this is the one where you need to have strategy, you need to have tools available to you. My personal favorite tool is AMZ Scout, and in using these tools, it might be a little bit confusing if you're a beginner, but once you get the hang of it, it actually becomes pretty fun. At least to me, hopefully for you guys as well. So after the product research phase, we go to step 3, and that is going to be finding a supplier. So in step 2, we found that product that's going to make us a lot of money. Now we need to find a place to buy it. So that's where we have step 3, finding a supplier. We look on websites like Alibaba, DHgate, and we want to find a supplier, usually in China, that will make this product for us very cheap, and then we sell it again on Amazon as our own product. Now, after we find that supplier, we want to go to step 4, and that is going to be creating a shipping plan. So you're going to need to ship that product from China to the USA or to Canada or to the UK or wherever you're selling, and that is going to require you to create a shipping plan, come up with a shipping plan, figure out what type of shipping process you want to use. Once again, we're going to talk about it in a little bit in more detail. After that, we have step 5, and that is listing creation and optimization. This is where you're going to create your actual Amazon FBA listing that you see on the website. And this is where we want to optimize it and make it as good as we can, because a lot of sellers actually have terrible listings. And with a bad listing, you will have bad sales. So you want to have a good listing that is very optimized, and that way you have your sales increased. Now, step 6 is going to be product launch and advertisement. So this is where we want to actually promote our product and advertise it basically as stated, but we will get into it a little bit more in depth right now. So now we have steps and topics that you need to know. So the first one is going to be product liability insurance and company structuring. These two things are going to help you stay legally protected and keep you on the right path to success. So PLI, which is product liability insurance, is going to keep your product safe if anything bad happens with the product and a customer and they come after you. So that will be good to ensure yourself that you don't have to pay anything out of your own pocket, and your PLI, your insurance, will kick in. Just like car insurance or health insurance, it works exactly the same. In company structuring, this is where you figure out what kind of entity you want to sell as. So you can sell as yourself, which is a sole proprietorship, or you can create an LLC, which is probably the most popular option, and that is limited liability company. And the reason you would want to do this is because it separates you and your business, so no one can come after your personal assets like your home or your car or your personal bank account. So it separates you from your business, which is good. There's also different things like C corporations, S corporations, and that is where you figure out which entity is good for you. And don't freak out by these two things. I highly recommend not doing either of these two things until later on when your sales pick up. So don't worry about it at all. It comes later and it's not very difficult to do. After that, we have product research criteria and strategies. And this is where we dive in deeper on product research like I talked about in step number 2 up above. And this is what separates a good Amazon seller from a bad Amazon seller, is knowing good criteria and strategies when you're finding your product. So a lot of new sellers think they can just sell any product that's available, or they can just sell anything that they want to sell. So if they're into a certain hobby, then they try to sell something in that hobby, but that is just not how it works, and you won't be successful doing that. You need to look at the market, look at the product, look at the numbers for the product, and that will tell you if it will sell well or not. For example, we look into different things like the price it sells for, how many competitors there are for that product, what their revenue is, what their listing looks like, how many reviews they have, what quality of reviews they have, different things like that. We want to look at profitability, and we put all these numbers together, and it's like an algorithm or a formula that we put together that produces a good selling product. So you need these things in order to sell a successful product, and that is why it's so important that you have someone teaching you who can help you find that perfect product or check over products for you and guide you through the process. Now, there are also tools and softwares available to us Amazon sellers that will make this process so much easier, almost totally simplified, because a lot of them do all the work for you. My favorite tool I use is going to be AMZ Scout, and I will leave a link down below in the description. Under tools I use, it will say AMZ Scout. You guys can click on that, and it will take you to the tools that I highly recommend. Now, with these tools, it may still be pretty confusing if you're a new seller, so make sure you watch some of my old videos to figure out how these tools work and how to use them to your advantage. Or if you guys get into my course and mentorship, then I will guide you through that process, and the videos in the course will show you how to use it in detail. Now, next on the list is going to be patent and trademark checking. Now, this is kind of like the first thing we talked about, which was LLCs and company structuring. These two things are to keep you safe as well. So patent and trademark checking are simply to keep you safe. So you want to make sure that you're selling a product that is not patented. And if you don't know what a patent is, basically it's someone who invents something new and then they put a patent on it to make it illegal for other people to steal that product idea. But most of the time it's pretty easy to tell when a product's patented, because if it seems like something crazy and new that you've never heard of before, it may be patented. But if it's something that we've already known about, that's already existed for a long time, then it won't be patented most of the time. So if you look behind me, all these things like the whiteboard markers and the whiteboard marker holder, those are all things that we could sell that would not be patented because they're older products. They've been around for a long time and they are not new inventions. Unless you have some crazy type of new whiteboard, then you are pretty much fine. And you also want to do a trademark check. So when you're creating your business name, you want to make sure that you're not stealing anyone else's name that already has a trademark on it, because then you would be infringing on their trademark, which is illegal. So there's basic websites out there that can help you do a patent check and a trademark check, and you want to do that before you pick a product and before you pick a business name to keep you safe. Now, after that, we have profit calculations and Amazon FBA fee structure, and this is where you want to know how the fees work and how to calculate your profit. And with AMZ Scout, they have a profit calculator on one of their tools. So there are tools available to help you calculate your profit very easily, and also to help you break down the different Amazon FBA fees. And these Amazon FBA fees basically are fees for Amazon to take over the process for you. So they're going to handle shipping all your products to the customers. They're also going to hold all your products in their warehouse, and they're also giving you the Amazon platform to sell on. So they're allowing you to sell on Amazon's website, which has hundreds of millions of customers already. So you don't need to create your own website and create your own customer base. So these fees are very minimal compared to what they are giving you. That is why I am so in love with this business structure, to where they do almost all the hard work for us for such a low fee price. And basically we get to profit off all of our products without doing any heavy lifting and then just minimal thinking. Now after that, you're going to need to know shipping terms and options. So shipping terms are kind of like its own language. There are a bunch of different abbreviations for different ways to ship a product overseas. For example, some of the most popular ones are FOB, DDP, EXW. These are all abbreviations that you're going to be expected to know when you're talking to a supplier or a shipping company or a freight forwarder. And if not, you may make yourself look stupid, or they may try to take advantage of you because they know you're a new seller. So for shipping options, there are a few different ways that you can actually ship your product overseas. It could either be by air, which is an airplane obviously, or it could be by sea, which is by a boat. So you get to choose the two options. If you want to go with air, it's going to be faster and more expensive. If you want to go with sea, it's going to be slower and cheaper. So they both have their pros and cons depending on what your strategy is. So that's something that you would want to talk to someone who knows what they're doing and figure out what the best available option is for you and your business. Now, after that, you're going to need to know all about supplier negotiation and communication. So you're going to want to know how to negotiate with your supplier on pricing, and also with shipping terms and conditions. You want to negotiate on those to get everything as low as possible. That way you're making more money. That means every time you sell one of your products, you'll be making more money per product because you negotiated these prices down. And trust me, every penny counts, because if you have 10,000 products and you saved $1 per 10,000, that's $10,000 more profit for you. Now for communication, a lot of these suppliers in China, their primary language is obviously Chinese, and the secondary language would be English. So sometimes it's kind of hard to communicate with them because there's a little bit of a communication barrier, but there are certain things to help with that. For example, I have a company that I use, which is my freight forwarder, that talks to my supplier, handles all my shipments, and does everything from start to finish, and I don't even have to worry about a thing. And that is also something that I offer to my private students at a discounted rate as well. Now the next thing is going to be barcode and packaging requirements. And this is one that really confuses a lot of new sellers out there. They have to know what barcode goes where, what barcodes do they need for what, certain things like that, and what are the packaging requirements, because certain things have to be in certain packages and you can only put a certain amount of things in certain packages, and the dimensions and the weight have to be specific. So the different things that you need to know about packaging your product with the barcode and the actual packaging itself. Now after you learned all your barcodes and you know exactly how the packaging works, you will go on to product bundling, and this is where we figure out how to bundle products together. And that basically means you take two products and you put them together and sell them as one to help increase the value of your product and potentially sell it for way more. So what we like to do is we like to sell one primary product, and then we like to put it with something of lesser value to make that one product look better. So for example, off the top of my head, you could sell an iPhone case like I have here, and you can also sell it with a screen protector. So the screen protector would be the bundled product that would make the iPhone case look better. Now there are only certain items that work with bundling products, so you got to make sure that you have a good item to bundle and you know what to bundle with it. Also, the packaging requirements are a little bit confusing, so make sure you know how that works as well. Now after that, we have business name, logo, and packaging creation. This is where you come up with your business name and hopefully not infringing on any trademarks like we talked about earlier. You're going to want to make it a very broad name, so for example, I would want to make it like Riley Turner Incorporated. That way I can sell any type of product that I want without being limited to my brand name. But if my name was Football Selling Incorporated and I try to sell an iPhone case, but my company's called Football Selling, it just looks wrong and it looks weird. And I wouldn't buy an iPhone case from someone who sells football. So make sure your company name is very broad so you're not limited to what you can sell. After that, you want to come up with a good company logo, which you could do this for very cheap on Fiverr, and you can pay someone like $20 or less to create a good logo for you. And that is what's going to go on all of your packaging as well. So then we want to have packaging creation. This is something more advanced where you want to have custom product packaging to make your package maybe different colors, to put your logo on it, to put your brand name on it, to put some bullet points on the back, maybe key features. even a product shot or different shots of your product being used on it, just like you see in stores. If you go to like Walmart or Target or anything like that, you pick up a packaging of a toy or something, you would see different things on it. So that is custom packaging. But when you're on a limited budget, you can just start with basic cardboard packaging or a poly bag packaging without anything on it but your logo. After that, we have shipping plan creation, which I kind of talked about earlier. It can be a little bit complicating for new sellers, but if you have someone guiding you through that process, it's very simple. Now, after that, we have setting up Amazon seller account, and this is where you're going to actually create your Amazon profile or your seller account. That way you can get selling. There's a small verification process where it just verifies that it's you who's trying to sell and not someone else trying to steal your name, basically. After that, we have the Amazon Seller Central navigation. So once you create your seller account, there's going to be something called Amazon Seller Central, and that's where you're going to manage all your inventory, create new shipping plans, send new inventory in, whatever you have to do, that's where you're going to do it. Edit your listings as well. So you need to know how to navigate that website and know where everything is, know what's important, and know how to basically maneuver your way through the website. So that is also important, that you know how the whole Seller Central navigation works. After that, we have product listing creation and optimization. So this is where we create your listing just like we talked about in the beginning, and then we want to optimize it. So there's different things like keywords that we need to optimize, product shots, description, bullet points, title, all these things that we want to make sure are done properly, because if you mess one of them up, it may decrease your sales drastically. So make sure that you know what you're doing, because once again, we're competing with some top sellers, so we need to act like a top seller just like them to compete with them. Now, next is going to be creating product variations. So for example, if you have iPhone cases that you're selling and you want to sell a black one, a white one, a red one, you need to create different listings for all of those variations. And those would be color variations. You can also have size variations or things that are slightly modified in the design. So design variations. And you're going to need to know how to create that listing variation when you're on Amazon Seller Central to sell a product with a variation. After that, we have removing hijackers and maintaining BUYBOX. Now, this one's probably one of the most complicated, that people have no idea what I'm talking about if they're a new seller or they're a beginner. So a hijacker is basically someone who jumps onto your listing and tries to act like you and act like they're selling the same product as you, but they're not allowed to, because you have your logo on your product, which makes it illegal for anyone to act like they're selling your product or to sell your product. Because if my logo's on my product and someone acts like they're selling my product, they're not allowed to sell my product with my logo because it's my logo. So basically, kind of like the trademark thing, they would be infringing on my product, trademark, or my logo or my brand name, and you don't even need to have a trademark to have this protection. And then maintaining BUYBOX. BUYBOX basically tells you who on the listing is getting the sale. So if I'm selling on my own listing and then someone tries to say they're selling the same thing as me, but they're selling it at a lower price, if someone tries to buy my product, it's going to sell it to the person that's selling at a lower price, which would be the hijacker. So there are different ways of removing these people, scaring them off, and these are all things that I teach to my students. And there's also ways of temporarily regaining the BUYBOX to make sure that your hijacker doesn't steal any of your sales before you get them removed. So these are all pro tips and tricks that I've learned that are very valuable, especially once you get starting as a beginner. Now, after that, we have PPC campaigns, and this is basically ad campaigns that Amazon allows us to run. It's basically Amazon advertisement. So PPC stands for pay per click. Basically, every time someone clicks on your listing, if you want to sponsor your ad, then you have to pay for that click, because it will put your listing at the very top of the page. So if I'm selling iPhone cases once again, and I want to sponsor my listing with a PPC campaign, it would move my listing to the top of page one, and every time someone clicked on it, they would usually buy it, and then I would pay a small fee for them putting my listing at the top as an advertisement. So it's not necessary, but it is very, very helpful, and it can make you a lot of money because it's very cheap to do if you know what you're doing. Now, after that goes along with campaigns and advertisements, and that is using Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and influencer marketing to promote your product, or even YouTube ads, anything that you want, Snapchat ads. So you're going to need to know how to create an Instagram ad or a Facebook ad, which is something I also teach. And also there's influencer marketing, which is extremely powerful, and that's where we go on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, and we find a page or a channel or anything that has a lot of subscribers, that has a good following, and that represents our product. So if I'm selling iPhone cases, I can go to some Instagram account that reviews iPhone cases, or some Instagram account that's for tech products, and I can pay that page or that influencer a small fee to put a post up of my iPhone case. That way I get sales from all of their followers. So these are just ways that we use to get more sales and to push our product and promote our product to be more successful, because more sales means more money for us, obviously. Now after that, we have creating product promotions, and this is where we do buy one get one free or buy one get one half off. So if we want to do a giveaway to boost our listings rank, then we can do a product promotion, and that is something that we need to know how to do. After that, we have paid reviews. This is basically what you want to do when you get started to get some good reviews going. So you can give people on Facebook groups your product for free, and they will review your product in return and give you a good review, which will then boost your listing to get a better rank, and also then have more social proof, meaning people have reviewed it, and that way other people looking to buy your product will believe that it's a good product because it has good reviews already. Just be careful with this, because in my course I teach 11 rules that you need to follow, or you can get into some trouble with Amazon and get your listing removed if you don't know what you're doing. So after that, we have product inserts, and these are just basically cards that we put in our product packaging, and those cards will have like a customer service email or phone number, and basically thanking them for the purchase. And also you can request a review on these product inserts, different things like that that help your brand look better, increase your brand awareness, and make your customer more satisfied. And after that, we have email marketing, and this is where you can ask them for a review or ask them if they had any issues or anything like that, which helps with your brand awareness and your customer satisfaction as well. After that, we have product giveaways, which we talked about with the promotion. So you're going to want to run a promotion to do a product giveaway, and there are also companies out there that have softwares that help you do giveaways to help increase your rank, to get you listed on that first page, to get more people looking at your product to buy more of your product. So it's kind of like a domino effect. You want to do as many of these things as you can. So you want to do Facebook ads, you want to do PPC campaigns, you want to do product giveaways, you want to do paid reviews, and when you do all these things together, you will have success so quickly with your product if you picked a good one. After that, we have contacting Amazon seller support. So this is if you have any issues, you need to know how to get into contact with them to resolve these issues. For example, if you have a hijacker and you need to get that hijacker on your listing removed, you need to contact Amazon seller support. So it's good to know how to do that. And then after that, we have products to stay away from. So these are certain key products that are restricted or banned that Amazon does not allow you to sell. And if you pick one of these products without knowing it, it would be a pretty sad day. Also, there are different gated categories on Amazon, and gated basically means Amazon requires you to get special approval by Amazon before you can sell that product. So you want to make sure that your product's not gated, banned, or restricted from Amazon. Also, there are some other types of products that are probably not the best to sell, like breakable items or highly electronic items, because they all break very easy and you don't want to have bad reviews. But it is okay to sell these products if you know what you're doing and you know what to look for. After that, we have taxes. So you want to figure out how Amazon FBA taxes work, how it works with this whole business structure, and in general, how to pay your taxes on time and run a business. So that's also very important, or your business may struggle or fail if you don't know this stuff. So after that, we have bookkeeping, and this will be the last one. Bookkeeping basically means you're keeping track of your sales and everything for your taxes and for your own records, and that keeps you all organized, because the more organized you are, the more success you will have as well. And that is everything that you need to know. That was a lot to talk about, but I know that you guys are smart, and I know that you guys can do this in this new year. I did it. You can do it. We all can do it. Trust me. And I hope you guys all have tons of success selling on Amazon. And if you guys want to see any of these topics in detail and you want me to make a video about it, leave that recommendation down below in the comments for me. And also don't forget to go down below and click the like button if you enjoyed the video, and also subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. And last but not least, go down below, leave me a comment and let me know what you thought of the video. Also let me know if you have any questions, and I respond to every single comment. That's going to be it, guys. I will see you guys in the next video, or I will see you if you get into my private course and mentorship. Don't forget the code is 10K. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.